I personally try to avoid maltitol. It doesn't have a horrendous effect on my body, but sugar at one point didn't have a horrendous effect on my body until I started over-consuming it.
What ingredients do you avoid in keto products?
I think I'm quite a quick answer here. I personally try to avoid maltitol. It doesn't have a horrendous effect on my body, but sugar at one point didn't have a horrendous effect on my body until I started over-consuming it. So I just try to avoid maltitol, and it's like a one-off treat if I do have it. Otherwise, nowadays I'm quite relaxed with what I eat in terms of I buy these products that have tapioca fiber and this and that and things that I wouldn't have touched years ago, but I'm at a point where I understand them and I want to help other people understand them. But I try to kind of keep the things I buy, I try to keep the ingredients to a minimal. So Yummzy stuff, you guys have real 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 14 lists of ingredients that are all like stabilizers, and you've got real simple short ingredients, and that's the kind of thing I try to aim for most of the time. Otherwise, I don't really avoid any ingredient apart from your typical flour and sugar.
Yeah, I'd say very close answer to me, but for me, maltitol is the same as sugar when it comes to like blood glucose levels. So I avoid maltitol like the plague. So, or in modern times, I avoid maltitol like COVID. They should change that saying. Also, because I know the long-term effects of maltitol, it's one thing to try and be healthy, and that's what Yummzy is trying to do. So it's one thing to say to people, low carb, gluten-free, vegan, healthy, this, that, and then give them something that in the long term might cause them things like cancer or things like that. So I'm a strong believer in your body is a temple and you should treat it as so. So I'm very strict what I put. So maltitol is definitely a no-no for me. Luckily, I don't tolerate sweeteners very well, except for stevia, which is a plant, and erythritol, which is more tolerated by me. Actually, in big amounts, I can't tolerate it either. And I'm not talking like big amounts. I'm talking like 2 cupcakes, which a normal customer from ours will happily eat 3 cupcakes, no problem. 4 cupcakes even. But I avoid these a lot as well. What other ingredients that are not directly linked to keto, but I do avoid? Gluten, because it's a new trend where a lot of keto places, they actually add gluten, which is a protein. It's not a carb, it's a protein. But it means that the bread will go from this size to being this size with the same ingredients. So of course it makes sense to use eggs and gluten in that case, because you want it to go from this to that using the same ingredients. I avoid gluten because when my grandmother used to make cakes or bread or this or that, they just used flour, which had a little bit of gluten. But unfortunately nowadays, even the flour you buy or the bread you buy, it has from the shop, even if you're not keto, it has extra added gluten, and our body is not okay with that. I mean, if we're looking at the caveman diet and all of the things we were talking about earlier, you would never find the caveman taking grains, making them into flour, making bread out of it, and adding extra gluten to that bread before baking it. It's just like, it's not like they're gonna extract extra gluten out of the wheat and do that. So I do avoid gluten a lot, and obviously the sweeteners that I mentioned. The only sweeteners I touch are stevia and erythritol. Monk fruit is great. Many people love monk fruit. In my case, I don't know why, and I've heard a few people said that, about 20% of people, and I thought it was a Canada thing because the first time I tried it was in Canada, and it tastes a bit citrusy for me. It has this citrusy taste, like I'm drinking like a cup of matcha, and it's meant to taste like matcha, but for me it tastes a bit like matcha and a sweet grapefruit in the matcha. And I thought it was just me, or I thought it was the Canadian brand we were using when we were in Canada, but no, it's very strong even in UK brand.
I think
I've heard a few people say that as well.
I think monk fruit's one of the only sweeteners I've never tried.
Let me know if you have that, because I heard it from 2 or 3 people only, which still makes me think maybe we're weird like that. But
Like with coriander, with cilantro, some people think it's soapy, some don't. Maybe it's like that.
the C word. Adrian might hang up the whole live session.
Is it soapy for him?
Oh my God, when we go to a restaurant and they serve him something, like if they just put 2 leaves of coriander, it's like they insulted him personally. He takes personal offense. He literally gets up and I'm like, honey, it's okay. I'll eat them. I'm not kissing you if you touch it or eat it. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll give it back to the waiter.
If something's served with cauliflower and cilantro, both of you are running out the building.
Yeah, cauliflower for me, I avoid it for psychological reasons, but I'm sure it's not going to kill me. Or maybe it would. I don't know. But yeah, these are the ingredients I would avoid. Definitely bad sweeteners, gluten, and the ingredients you mentioned.